Have you ever played a game of who can roar the loudest? Maybe you tried to sound like a lion or a dragon or even a T-Rex. Now, imagine a creature so big, so loud, and so wild that even the gods were scared. His name was Typhon, the scariest monster in all of Greek myths. Want to meet him? Let's dive in. Typhon wasn't your everyday monster. Oh no, he was huge. So tall that his head could brush the stars. Instead of legs, he had twisting snake coils. Instead of just 2 arms, he had hundreds of snake-headed arms. His eyes shot fire, his roar shook the mountains, and his breath was like a storm. He was called the father of monsters because many famous beasts, like the Chimera, Cerberus, the 3-headed dog, and even the Sphinx, were his children. And guess who his biggest enemy was? None other than Zeus, the king of the gods. Typhon wanted to be the ruler of the world, but Zeus wasn't about to hand over his throne. Here's how the big showdown happened. One day, Typhon rose from the earth with his terrifying body, roaring and blasting fire. The gods on Mount Olympus? Most of them ran away in fear. They even disguised themselves as animals to hide. But Zeus stood his ground. He grabbed his mighty thunderbolts and faced Typhon. The two clashed, lightning against fire, thunder against roar. Typhon actually managed to grab Zeus and cut out the sinews of his hands and feet, making him weak. For a moment, it looked like Typhon might win. But Zeus got his strength back, and with a storm of lightning, he finally blasted Typhon down. The monster was crushed under Mount Etna in Sicily. And that's why the Greeks said the volcano there still spits fire and smoke, because Typhon is trapped, wriggling and growling below. Have you ever played a game of tag with someone much bigger or faster than you? At first it feels impossible to win, but then you come up with a plan. Zigzag, dodge, maybe even trick them. That's kind of what Zeus did. Even though Typhon seemed unbeatable, Zeus found a way to stay strong and clever. So why did the Greeks invent such a scary monster? To explain natural disasters. When volcanoes erupted, with smoke, fire, and rumbling ground, it must have felt like a giant monster was angry. And earthquakes? They thought Typhon was shaking the earth from below. Today, we know volcanoes happen because molten rock, lava, pushes up from deep inside the earth. The pressure builds, and boom, an eruption. Earthquakes come from plates of the earth's crust, moving and grinding against each other. But here's a fun fact. Mount Etna in Sicily, the very mountain where the Greeks said Typhon was trapped, is still one of the most active volcanoes in the world. So maybe, in a way, the myth wasn't totally wrong. Something powerful really is under there. Now let's zoom into the future. What if scientists could actually peek inside volcanoes with special robots or flying drones? Imagine sending a robot explorer down into the lava tubes, kind of like visiting Typhon's prison. And think about space. Other planets like Jupiter's moon Io have volcanoes too, shooting lava way higher than Earth's volcanoes. If Typhon was the monster of Earth's volcanoes, maybe out there in space, there are space Typhons hiding in fiery worlds. Plus, engineers are working on ways to predict volcanic eruptions with satellites. That means one day, kids like you might help keep whole towns safe by spotting the signs of a rumbling monster early. So today we met Typhon, The biggest, scariest monster of Greek mythology, the one whose roars shook the earth and whose fire still burns in volcanoes. Remember, myths were the ancient way of explaining the world. And today, with science and technology, we keep discovering the real monsters of nature and how to understand them. Thanks for listening. Keep your imagination roaring, and I'll see you next time on Myth Meets Science. Bye.